What's happening, everyone? This is another short video dedicated to just one little topic, Jamie's drink level mechanic. Most characters in this game have some kind of unique system that's all their own, and Jamie's is no different. It's not very complicated, but when you look at it in the move list, when you first pick up the character, it can be very overwhelming. You see drink level 4 or higher, and drink level this, and all of that. It's not exactly straightforward. The way they organize it in the move list doesn't help, but in this video we're going to organize it by drink level. As it goes up and up, what really happens. So that's really where the meat and potatoes of the whole system is. So let's get started. First up, let's take a look at how Jamie earns drink levels. It's always noted in the moveset where possible, but there's several ways you can do it. Down punch. You can do it manually just like that. A quick little animation. As soon as he's done, he gains a drink level, as you can see by the little symbol underneath the health bar. So you can kind of sneak these in the middle of neutral whenever you find it, optimal. Just kind of boop, and then it's too quick for anybody to really hit you. But watch out for stuff like Blanca balls that could blow you up for it. It's definitely possible. So you can just do that to gain one manually whenever you want to. And you notice when he gets to level 4, he goes unleashed. And we'll have more about what the levels actually do in just a bit. So down P is the way to do it, simply. You can hold it in until he goes all the way to 4, but no one's ever going to let you get away with that. Every character should be able to just run in there and jack you up for trying it. Some of the other ways you can do it are out of moves that end with the drinking animation. The first one of those would be crouching heavy kick. His normal crouching heavy kick is those 2 hits. You can press it again for that follow-up. But after that follow-up, if you press P, he takes a drink. This is similar to a couple of other strings. Free flow strikes that start with quarter circle forward punch. Normally you just press forward punch punch and you get that. But if you do quarter circle forward punch and then forward kick kick, he takes a drink at the end. Sacrifices about 10% of your total damage, but you get a drink level out of the end of it. So in the beginning, anytime that you're just doing, basic stuff, poking around or whatever, you can land a jab and go right for that. Boom, drink level. Next up, if you're already at level 2, this move starts a whole combo. He has a string out of this. And then again, when it makes contact, you press punch. There's your level. Forward, medium kick, and on success, you press punch and you get a drink level out of it. Same thing. Another one occurs at level... If you're already at level 4, you might ask, why are you going to take a drink again? There is a reason, and we'll get to that later. So it does actually exist. This move that I'm going to do that's only available at level 4 takes a drink. And if you're looking closely, you'll notice that it replenishes drive stock instead. When your drink level is already max. So you can only do this at level 4, this little back sway number, and you can take a drink right there. The last option Jamie has is his level 1 super. If you hold down during the animation, he does that, finishes with a drink level. Again, it cuts about 10% of your damage or whatever it is, but in the beginning, it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it to get your drink levels before you have them. If you don't have them, you're a much weaker character, and it should kind of be a priority to get them. So as we saw, every time you do one of these actions, it raises your drink level by 1. And if you're already at drink level 4, drinking again will restore one of your drive stocks or a chunk of your burnout gauge. So it still has good function for that. Instead of, making... your character more powerful, you're already at max level, he can still use that system to kind of stay ahead of the meter game as well, which is what makes him really even more powerful at level 4. Everything about Jamie at level 4 is nuts. So that's just icing on the cake. The fact that he could regen stocks when he wants to in key moments too. Pretty cool. So let's look at what happens at each level. Every time Jamie gets a successful drink level raised, there are 3 things that happen. One of his normal buttons becomes a target combo, like a 3-hit target combo that requires very little timing. Just boop, boop, boop. He gains an additional special move that he did not have previously. You only have access to it if you're at the required drink level and above. There are 3 of those, 1 for each level, and most of them are pretty good moves, let's say, to say the least. And the third thing that happens is his damage scaling goes up. If you look at when I punch him, just with my regular jab, it says 90% damage scaling instead of 100. You think, why the hell is that? It's because Jamie is downscaled when he's not at a drink level. If I go to drink level 1 and punch him, now it's 95%. If I go to drink level 2 and punch him. Now it's 100%. So when you're at drink level 2, you're doing normal damage. Any levels below that, you're doing less damage than you normally should be, which is terrible. But as you guessed it, we go up to level 3. Oh, there we go. My damage scaling starts at 105. And level 4, 110%. So I'm at level 4. I'm doing 10% bonus damage across the board. To offset that, I'm doing 10% less damage across the board in the beginning. So the idea that he's above the meter, above the bar half the time and below the bar half the time is supposed to create balance. For the amount of time you spend as ultra maxed out Jamie, you're spending it as weakened Jamie as well. So there's a lot of debate about how good that is. Does that really weaken him as a character if you spend half the time underpowered? But the other time when you spend overpowered, whoo-hoo, baby, it definitely feels worth it. So that's what your drink levels do. Button becomes a target combo, a special move is added, and your damage scaling increases. So let's take a look at level 1. When Jamie reaches level 1, the first thing he gets is the jab target combo. His regular jab button now becomes that target combo. Light punch, light kick, medium punch. Bop, bop, bop. Very reminiscent of Yin and Yang, some of his teachers from the story mode. They had a string just like this that they would use. So this is ultra important. Just fabulously important for this character. He's designed that most of the moves that he catches, like the random buttons and counter hits and stuff like that, they don't link into too much. They only link into jabs. Like that. His medium punch is not cancelable, but he can link into a jab. So for example, if I'm at drink level 0, it can be kind of hard to combo, right? He gets that. Because he can only link into a jab. When I'm at level 1, look what I get. You get that whole target combo. So being at drink level 1 is the first goal in every single round, because nothing else, you gain access to that target combo. That's worth it for almost everything that you do. The other thing you get at level 1 is access to the dive kick. You jump and you do quarter circle backwards kick, and depending on which button you press has a different angle of descension. One can go a little backwards like that. Heavy kick has a wider angle. Hits them like that. This is a little bit risky, like all dive kicks. If you land too shallow, they're going to punish you. But if you catch them like in the toes, it's actually pretty solid. This one always knocks down. And there's an EX version of it that gets follow-ups. He gets a little bit of a bounce there. Right? So dive kick is kind of a cool utility. It's not the best ever, but it's cool to have. It's definitely one of those things where if you're like a wild Jamie and people are having a hard time anticipating what you do, just doing stuff like that over top of them can actually be really dangerous. You'll get caught off guard by that a lot. Level 2, your forward medium kick. This little overhead now becomes its own target combo. You do forward medium kick, and then punch to take another drink. We talked about that in the beginning as one of the strings that gets you a drink level. This is okay, I suppose. I mean, it's very simple, right? You just hit them with this thing. If you're thinking overhead, they're not going to block an overhead. This is a free little combo you get, drink level, cool. But for the most part, when you hit people with stuff like this, odds are you're going to catch them in the counter hit states and stuff like that more often. And this move in a counter hit actually gets you an entire combo from it. So that's, I think, is a little bit more important. But if you're not going to think about that, you could just live your life with this little new target combo at level 2 and not have to worry about it any further than that. Boom, and then drink level. The special move that he gets added is called Bakai. It's quarter circle forward kick. Light version of it combos into pretty easily. Medium, not as much. Heavy is hard, but it's a ton of damage. This is going to replace your combo ender for the most part when you get to level 2. So normally, before you get to level 2, like your big damage ender would be something like this, a heavy arrow kick. Totally fine. Not to mention the distance you're away, you could probably sneak another drink level in there. You don't even need to use the built-in options, but that works. Once you get to level 2, though, your best damage ender becomes Bakai. This starts to do grips of damage, and if you get a situation where you land him with like a heavy attack, look how much that did just for catching a string. That was 2,800. So Bakai becomes your heavy damage combo ender once you get to level 2. You're basically going to switch over to using that for the time being. So that's a cool addition. It's a little on the slow side. You do require, like a medium hit just to combo into the light one, but that's fine. Totally worth it. It is also worth noting this move can go under fireballs. The little step he takes towards the ground goes under most fireballs, and then he hits them after that. Kind of hard to time that, but it does exist. So moving on to level 3, the normal that becomes a target combo is back HP. Nice little backswing. It's not the best move he has, but it's kind of cool if you use the right applications. I have it set on punish counter because its best application is probably the little back step that might like shimmy out of a throw range or a jab or something like that. And on punish counter, you get a combo from it, you know? It becomes +5 on punish counter, and you can get a link from it. So that's definitely kind of cool. However, the target combo version of it, back heavy punch, heavy kick, does some decent damage. The caveat here is it does require a counter hit. If I set it on normal, look, he blocks that. You don't want to get that blocked or that blocked, you're in trouble. This is -11, that's bad enough. Even if he doesn't challenge it, terrible. Terrible. You don't want that. You need a counter hit. You need to be able to see the screen say counter hit and then let the second hit rip. It's definitely doable. You got a second, so as soon as you throw this move out, kind of glance over, there it is. Look for your counter hit and then nail it. You need that because otherwise you're going to get destroyed. The cool thing about this move is the first 2 hits of it are both cancelable. Well, super cancelable. He can catch this and go right into his level 3, which is going to hurt with this level of damage scaling. So that's kind of cool for that regard. If you do catch a backswing or whatever and you get your counter hit. But like we said, on punish counter, being able to just link this into your normal target combo and then drive rush and stuff is going to get you better combos. But it's there. Your back heavy punch, heavy kick target combo. Does require a counter hit. And it has some other applications. You could just stick to using this like you normally would, forget the target combo exists. Which was kind of like the level 2 one, right? This one wasn't really all that special. It was better off to just, you know, use it as it's normally used and forget about the target combo. But it's there. This one isn't the worst. It's fine. However, the other move Jamie gets at level 3 is the crown jewel of the whole set. This is Tenshin, your command throw. It's half circle back plus kick. And that's all it is right there. That little gap. But that gap is +8. So you have plenty of time to hit them with basically whatever you could think of 8 frames or faster. Now, you'll notice that's only 1,400 damage. It does scale like crazy. But it kind of has to, right? If you could just wake people up with this and do a full-ass combo on them, that'd be beyond unbalanced. So the damage scaling is fair in that regard. You will notice, though, that the first hit follows your normal level scaling. It's 105. But after that, the hits fall off real fast. Real fast. It goes down to like 60 from there. So it doesn't do a ton of damage. But if you can get the, you know, the proper combo in there, that actually kind of hurts. However, there's an EX version. Just look at the damage that does. Period. The EX version is, I think, a little bit slower. If anything, it's like 5 frames versus 8 or something like that. Maybe it's not. They might be the same. Either way, it's fast enough that no one's reacting to it. You might lose to a regular throw, but if you're, you know, messing with people and pressuring in the corner and you're tick throwing or whatever, that's going to grab people so bad. So he does a little snap right away. But the damage that you get from it is already much better. Look at that 2383. Because I could go into a high. I have access to better stuff because of the crumple stun. Look at that. That's a grip of damage already from that throw. That's a huge amount. So that had to be balanced some way or another. So that honestly could be tied to level 4, and I think it'd be okay. That move is so good. But getting level 3 can be hard enough sometimes. And when you get to 3, that enters your arsenal, and it's a whole new ball game. That move is just so good to have no matter what. Bang. Cancel into super, etc. Works great. That's one of the best moves that he has. So gaining Tenshin at level 3 is just fantastic. And finally, at level 4, there's one extra thing that happens in addition to the regular 2, and that involves the free flow strikes. The punch version of it, you can see now delivers many more hits and does more damage. It definitely gets a buff in the damage department, but at this point, right, if you're just getting your little target combo, there's way better stuff you could do. But it's there. That's the move that's still in your arsenal, and it's good to throw out. especially now, because once you're at level 4 on block, this becomes safe. These are 6 frames, or -6 on block normally, and you can kind of take your chances with it. At the distance that you're away, doing the light one, at -6, they probably can't punish you. But now, at level 4, these are only -3. You could do that straight up safe. If this doesn't connect, if you're just throwing stuff out and they get hit with that, good. If they don't, you're safe. So now you can do that kind of willy-nilly in your offense. Start throwing out freeform strikes, and you're totally safe on block. Just don't follow up, right? Just make sure you can tell that hit. So that's kind of a nice little addition. This move that you could use and try to get away with some -6s, not the end of the world. Now with -3 is totally reliable to stay safe. So that's kind of neat. That's a nice bonus addition to reaching level 4. Otherwise, the basic structure is the same. He gains a target combo from an existing normal, which in this case is forward heavy kick. This was already a really good move on its own. On counter hit, you got a whole combo from it, which is great. Look at the distance that he covers. One little counter hit and bang. So, that's already good. Now, if you see that counter hit happen, you can get that instead, which is actually kind of cool. That's going to do a grip of damage. It's cancelable. So what this is forward heavy kick, back heavy kick, and he causes this sway. And then there's 4 things that can happen when you press heavy punch out of this sequence. The first one, you press it right away, you get that headbutt. It does require a counter hit. If I set counter hit back to standard, this does not work. Blocked on normal hit. Does require a counter hit. If you do forward heavy kick, back heavy kick automatically, boom, boom, you see that counter hit appear, you can hit your heavy punch and you'll nail it. That should be pretty easy and it gets into your super. The other things that can happen, though, are all a little bit different. Depends on when you press the punch button during this stagger animation. So right away is your headbutt. If you wait a little bit, you get those little spin punches. Both of those are also cancelable. But on block, there's a third one. Also still cancelable. If the opponent blocks it, it's going to come out 3 times. If it hits them, it only comes out once. It's just entirely dependent on them blocking. So those are 2 different things that can happen. Just remember that on block, there is a third hit. They need to be aware of that too. Don't you forget about it yourself. And the last thing is all the way back. At the end of the animation, you press punch button. He takes another drink. Now, realizing you're at level 4, that doesn't seem to make much sense. However, we also know now that taking drinks at level 4 replenishes drive stock and burnout gauge. So this does the same thing. This drink replenishes an entire gauge for him. So kind of cool, I guess. If that's what you're going for, you could do this, and if it gets blocked or whatever, then take a drink. Get some gauge back. There's no way anyone is going to catch you doing this. That's almost impossible. But if they do, you have this to stop them in their tracks. You can totally use that to catch people from, following and chasing you down. So kind of an interesting set of moves out of there. But needless to say, if you get your counter hit, you can confirm that pretty well. And then super from there. That does a grip of damage. But if you get the counter hit, like we said before, you already get a whole combo. You could just do much more from there anyway. So that move by itself, even level 0 on counter hit, got you a crouch jab. Right? You could combo there. So is that really worth it? I don't know. That's the theme of the 3 target combos, however, is they're just easy mode stuff. You could just do that, do the move and not worry about the rest of it. Bang. Just live your life like that. Do this one and not worry about the rest of it. They do have better applications, the moves that came from it, but these are just some easy mode combos that you could use. The level 2, 3, and 4 aren't the best, but they're okay. The final thing that you get from level 4, which is definitely the best, is the Hermit Punch extension. Swagger Step is quarter circle back punch. But once he is in level 4, he presses forward punch and gets another extension. This is just so much damage now at this point. It works on all versions of it. You can do the light version out of this, and bang, get the follow-up. Grip of damage immediately, right? You could do all sorts of things. Out in the open, when you catch this medium kick, you can confirm that into a medium step. Now you get the follow-up. Bang, bang. 2600 just like that. And the heavy one, it hurts so much. Look at that. It's crazy damage. It's still cancelable into super. So this is just Unholy amount of damage Jamie gets to do at level 4 with that extension. That basically replaces your combo ender for everything at this point. If you can do that now, you can do it. Super, super good. He does have to make contact. He can't just do it out in the open and fake them, but if it does get close enough to make contact, he can go for the second one. They're both really unsafe, so that's kind of not something you use in neutral necessarily, but you can catch people with it every so often. If they're going to try to punish this thing, like, oh, I want to keep waking you up with this because you keep trying to jump or whatever, and they start to punish that, you can maybe let the second one rip and tag them. It's a combo ender extraordinaire. It just does so much damage. And now the final piece of the puzzle is the Devil's Song. Jamie's level 2 super. Double quarter circle back punch is an install. It causes a little camera freeze frame. You can actually use this in combos. Right, see that says 2 hits, but normally that does not combo into that ever. So you do get combo extensions. You can pop this in the middle and keep your combo going. What it does is if you were less than drink level 4, as you can see I'm 0. As soon as I do this, I drink the whole gourd, and now I'm at 4. But you also notice how the super meter is now yellow and decreasing. It's about a 15-second timer that only really stops when the opponent is like getting hit or knocked out. That's about it. It freezes there for an instant, and then it comes back. So you get about 15 seconds-ish, a little more if you're being, really aggressive or whatever, and then it reverts all the way back to 0. You lose all your drink levels. So it's not the best, but if you have it in the beginning of a round and you do happen to catch something, you could do this, right? And then finish the rest of the round off like you had 4 drinks. Go for the big Hermit Palm Ender and stuff like that. It does wear off. If you are at drink level 4, already when you do this, just like normal drinks restore your drive stock, this restores 3. Boom. Look at that. 3 stocks. I have it set to 3 manually, so it keeps erasing them. But you get 3 drive stocks back or half of your burnout timer if you're already burned out. So it definitely has an application for both of them. You can get a quick and easy 4 bars and start wrecking stuff if you want to. But if you're already at 4, you can use it for meter management, even more so than just single drinks. At this stage of the game, you're probably close to the end of the round. So getting a little bit of meter back might be kind of useful to just, finish the combo with an extra drive rush before you burn out and stuff like that. So the uses of it are a little bit esoteric, but definitely kind of cool. It's a neat idea that you can get that just immediately level 4, let's rock. But it does have consequences. So that is everything. That is the moves that get you drink levels and then what each successive drink level does. It makes good sense once you understand it all, right? Every level you get a new target combo, like a new fancy kung fu string, and you get a new special move. Each time they get better and better and better. So hopefully that's enough to get you started with figuring out what they do. You're going to have to go to practice mode and find exactly how to use them in combos. Little details like, light Bakai is only one fast enough to combo into for the most part. Stuff like that. You'll get used to it. Start taking some good notes. There's a Google Doc linked in the description that'll have all that stuff written down for you. So you can just be like, oh, if I get medium punch, then I have this, this, and this. I already figured that stuff out for you, so you can just go check it out. So hit the practice mode, hit some Battle Hub, get some experience in, and it'll all start making a lot more sense. You'll become a lot more aware of it during the fight, and then be able to manage it and maximize it that much better. So thank you for tuning in. Be sure to click subscribe, notification, and all that stuff down below so you get alerted when the next video is out, and hopefully I will see you there. Later.